Hey guys, good morning. Good morning. Happy Sunday here in the Philippines. Good morning, good morning. I'll just wait for everybody to hop on. So, good morning, everyone. Good morning. Come on, come on. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming in. Coming in, come in, come in, come in. Good morning, Cheryl, Cedro. James Adventures Near and Far Philippines. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday. This is Sunday in the Philippines, Sunday morning, and it's Saturday night in the US. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Hello, hello, good morning. This is our Sunday live update. We will be answering questions with regards to travel updates to the Philippines, immigration concerns, recap on what happened for the last week and stuff. So come on in, join me. If you have questions, you can post it in our chat box on the left right hand side of your screen. If you guys are using a monitor or a laptop, but if you guys are using your phone, just click on the chat or click on the live button and you should be able to see our chat logs at the bottom. So, good morning to our 15 viewers right now. Good morning. So, come on, guys, in. 8K plus new Delta cases today reported in the Philippines. Won't be much traveling for a long time. Yep, I have seen that. To be exact, 8,562 cases of Delta variant logged in the Philippines. So it's good. You should know how the Philippine government work, and we should see the what they call this the um, quarantine classifications that will start. This is August 1st here in the Philippines. So it's either they are going to be a lot more stricter this time because of the threat of Delta variant. Good morning, Cheryl Cedro, Amelita Makalanda, good morning po. Aladin Ocampo, good morning. Ma'am, may flight po ba Hong Kong to Cebu? Anong airline po? Good morning, John Lacandazo. Good morning, Ate Sunlight XXD. Good morning to you. Good morning, good evening sa California. Hello, Benavente. Good evening. Filipinos call and ask testing centers if they test for variants. Like Delta, I bet they say they have no test just like YSA. So that's actually good, no? But the RT-PCR test should be able what type of virus you got. I'm not sure because when we got tested for COVID-19, what the specification in there is SARS-CoV-2. So I think that's the very first variant of COVID-19. Pwede po ba ako makatravel papuntang Thailand? Coming if there's flight going to Thailand, I don't really think there's a problem going out or leaving the Philippines. Magkakaproblema ka pagbalik mo from Thailand because Thailand is one of the travel ban countries ngayon until August 15. So leaving the Philippines for Thailand is not much of a problem at the moment, but the problem that you will encounter is when you come back from Thailand to the Philippines. Because even Filipino citizens cannot enter if you guys are coming from the banned countries unless you are part of the special flight repatriation program of the Philippine government. So, heads up. Cathay Pacific po. So hindi ko pa na-check yung flights for different airlines sa August. I will update you guys when I get to it. Just like the US, no test for Delta or any other variant. Oh, okay. So they will just really test you for COVID-19, but they won't be able to determine if what kind of variant you got. Oh, that's scary. Hello po, kamusta na dyan sa Pinas? Watching here from San Diego, California. Hello, Gregorio. Ay, nako, the Philippines right now is um, really scrambling with this new variant. Good morning po, watching while at work. Hello, Marian. Wow, Sunday? Sunday may work kayo? Hong Kong via Cebu, Cathay Pacific. Like I said, i-check ko po yung schedule ng mga international flights natin. Hi, good morning, Adi. I'm from New Zealand. Flight transit Singapore Airlines to Manila on 24th August. Will I be able to submit my SIRV visa application in the ECQ? I have entry exemption from BI. I'm fully vaccinated. SIRV? You mean SRRV or S? What is SIRV? You meant SRRV. Special Investors Resident Visa. You have to contact, I think Bureau of Immigration is still open, but on skeletal force, meaning 50% of their employees will work at the office and 50% will work at home. So expect some delays on the process because of short staff. But as far as I know, Bureau of Immigration is still open during ECQ. Thank you po. God bless us all. Pag tourist visa papuntang Thailand, ilang days po ba yon? John, can you please check sa website ng Thailand, yung Thailand government? Kasi I am not so sure kung ilang days yung ginagrant nila na visa for tourists na papasok doon. Like I said, guys, I think there is really not much of a problem leaving the Philippines going to Thailand because there's really no restriction leaving the Philippines. I don't think they have imposed that yet for the what do you call this, the vaccine to be mandatory, that you have to be fully vaccinated before you leave. But the thing that you will have a problem with is coming back to the Philippines because Thailand is part of the 10 countries that are currently on travel ban to the Philippines until August 15. Do Filipino balikbayans fully vaccinated in the US and traveling to the Philippines this month have to take the RT-PCR test when arriving in the Philippines? No, they don't do the upon arrival swab testing anymore. But Sunlight, you need to check with the airline because the Philippines doesn't really require a negative RT-PCR test when you travel here. It's the airlines that requires it, just like Delta, Eva Air. They require RT-PCR. They require negative RT-PCR test 70 within 72 hours when you fly to the Philippines. So check with the airline because it's the airline that requires it, not the Philippines. In the Philippines, your swab test is on the seventh day after you arrive. Di pa rin po ba pwede makapasok sa US pag galing sa Pinas as tourist? Pwede naman kung may tourist visa ka to the US. Pwede ka namang pumasok sa US kasi open naman ang US for tourists now. As long as you have the visa, valid visa to enter the US as a tourist, pero need mong i-comply yung mga requirements leaving the Philippines. Like you have to have health and travel insurance to cover you just in case you get infected with COVID-19 while you are abroad. So may mga ganong ano po. May mga ganong what do you call this? May mga ganong requirements. I also realized that the mandatory 10-day quarantine is still in place. Do you have a listing of hotels offering low prices? I actually uploaded in our channel and the travel update videos. I have uploaded recommended hotels for quarantine there uh, that are affordable. So just please check it out, Sunlight. It's in our channel. And guys, I'm gonna share this on face there. So hop on HOP. Hop on to YouTube. I'm sharing this with I share this on our Facebook page just in case. Traveling for from SG to Davao via Cebu. Will I be quarantined in Cebu or Davao? So from Singapore. So from Singapore to Cebu, then your final destination, Eugene, is in Davao. I would say that your quarantine will be in Cebu because you cannot proceed to Davao right away when the transit the transit thing doesn't work anymore because of the pandemic. So your first port of entry in the Philippines, that is where you're going to do your quarantine. Thank you. You're very welcome. Ma, maghihintay lang po ako sa update ng Kasay na biyahe Hong Kong to Cebu. Okay. Okay, Cheryl. So if you guys have any more questions when it comes to traveling update, so far, from today until August 5th, Manila will be under general community quarantine with heightened restrictions. But then beginning August 6th until August the 20th, Manila will be on enhanced community quarantine or ECQ. This is the most strictest quarantine classification imposed by the Philippines to a certain city or LGU. So because of the Delta variant that is now in the country, unfortunately, the Philippine government is really worried about it. The Philippine government is trying to control it again. You can't control a virus, in my opinion, but I think that is what they are trying to do at the moment. So we will probably expect more restrictions. So when a particular place or a particular city is under enhanced community quarantine or ECQ, international flights are not really affected by it, though they will have limited flights during the duration of the enhanced community quarantine period. But they have been doing that limited flights because of the travel cap. But during ECQ, domestic flight is the most affected because there will be no flights going in and out of Manila during ECQ. The only allowed flights are the essential travels. These are authorized persons that would take that flight, or if the government is going to do special flights to those who are stranded in Manila because of the imposed enhanced community quarantine. So please take note, regular flights on domestic are going to be restricted. Only special flights or only allowed or only authorized persons are allowed to take flights at the moment in and out of Manila. So if you guys are if you guys are flying to the Philippines during that time, during the ECQ duration, which is from August 6th until the 20th. So you might want to think that again, or you might want to reconsider again because of the ECQ. Yung flight ko po sa August 6 arrival from LAC, supposedly Manila, pero diverted po sa Cebu. Paano po yung process nun? Thanks. So, dinivert nila yung flight mo. Instead of landing in Manila, you're landing in Cebu. Ang magiging problema mo niyan, Jasmine, so 10 days quarantine. So, your quarantine will end like the 16th or the 17th. Then, yung ECQ for Manila is until the 20th. Yung magiging problema mo is yung flight from Cebu to Manila. Because during that time, naka-ECQ na ang Manila. Like I said earlier, when a particular LGU is under Enhanced Community Quarantine or ECQ, wala talagang flights. There will be no flights coming in and out of Manila unless it's a special flight provided by the Philippine government or only authorized person to travel that time. So you will have to recourse or you have to coordinate with your airline kasi airlines now have been posting canceled flights during those dates. Philippine Airlines, Cebu Pacific, Asia, Air Asia have been posting their canceled flight schedule during that time. So you might want to check Jasmine yung sa flight mo kasi you won't have a problem getting into the Philippines whether in Cebu or in Manila. Your problem will be your flight going to your final destination kasi most flights are going to be restricted during enhanced community quarantine. So I will coordinate with my airline kasi yung date na pagdating mo sa Philippines is during ECQ ng Manila. Kasi ganyan yung nangyari sa akin eh. It's kind of like March 2020 all over again. I left the Philippines to the States and I was only supposed to stay in the States for 2 weeks. Then my flight back to the Philippines was March 18th. Then the Philippine government has declared a lockdown, ECQ, in Manila. No flights coming in and out in Manila. Most domestic flights are restricted. So we decided that I would stay in the States because I can still fly all the way to Manila, but I will be stuck in Manila because there was no flights going to Jensen. If I'd still pursue it, then I would have to wait for special flights going to Jensen, which is very rare, and I would be stuck in Manila for a long time. So we decided that I would stay in the States until everything is back to normal, or until the flights are available again. That's what happened, because that's what they imposed during ECQ. Good morning, Ate. Good morning, Moa. Do you think that travel restrictions as what was in March to May will be applied again? Thanks, Ate. Nice to see you again. Yes, that's that's basically what's going to happen, Moad. What happened last year, they are going to impose it again this year. Though the ECQ is from August 6th until the 20th, but we'll never know if this is going to be lifted by the 20th, or is it going to be extended after the 20th. I guess it will all depend on the cases that will be logged in the Philippines with Delta variant, because right now they have logged 8,500 cases in the Philippines already with Delta variant. So that will all depend that will all depend on the case that they will log every day. So I guess the decisions again will vary. The decisions again will depend kung ano. It will depend on a case to case basis how many cases they will log in the Philippines. It's quiet lately. It's like, I apologize if because I update travels every day. I do a travel updates every day, and I know there has not been good news lately when it comes to traveling to the Philippines because of the current travel restrictions. But I cannot not what they call this. I cannot not tell you guys about it, because that's what we do, and I have to let you guys know what's the latest travel updates to the Philippines, whether it's good or bad. I have to tell you guys. In fact, I heard Harry Rocky saying we cannot afford closing again. Yes, it's like, because the way it looks right now, it's like we are starting from zero again because of this Delta variant. And I know it's close to fiscal year. It's December is coming up, and for sure the budget of the Philippine government for the whole year has been spent already because of COVID-19, and we were already there. We're almost there. The country is already picking up. The tourism locally is already picking up, is already open, but now here comes the Delta variant. It's not us that are having problems with it. Even the US is also having a problem with Delta variant. How many cases were logged?
120,000.
Yeah, 100 that's yesterday.
Yeah.
It's like 120,000 cases were logged in the Philippines yesterday.
No,
So
in the United States.
in the US, Gani.
You said in the Philippines.
No, in the US, 120,000 cases with Delta variant logged in. So now President Biden is saying that vaccination of COVID-19 is now mandatory. They are looking at it to be mandatory in the US. Anong website pa ako mag-register pag Cebu, at kung need po din ba ng One Health Pass? One Health Pass is a mandatory. So whether you are arriving in Cebu or arriving in Manila, you will have to register with Health Pass. If you are arriving in Cebu, they have their own QR code. Yung TRN, go to mactancebuairport.com. Andun po yun. Dun po kayo mag-register for QR code kung yung landing nyo is Cebu. Hello, Cap. Good morning. Excuse me, please. I didn't realize that you are there. He's always there, Muad. You know, he's always in the background.
Good morning, Muad.
You know, he's just in the background. He will not have his turn yet until tonight on LDR discussion. So we'll have LDR discussion again tonight, and hopefully Danielle will be able to join us tonight because him and her fiance are in Maldives right now. Her fiance,
Him and his fiance.
I mean, him and his fiance, not her, is in Maldives right now. So she was able to fly to Maldives and see her fiance. So hopefully we can get him in tonight. We can get him on board and share how did they do it if other LDR couples wants to do that.
And hopefully Russell will be there.
Hopefully Russell, if you're around, please let us know how you are doing. Russell Barrow, if anybody knows him. So it's quiet lately, no? Late na po kasi nag-advise si airline kala wala pa ako idea. Hindi ako prepared. Anyway, salamat po sa info. Stay safe. Ganun talaga minsan nagre-reroute yung mga airline, Jasmine. So like I said, sa mactancebuairport.com, meron po yan silang link doon for TRN. Yung sa registration for their QR code. Madali lang naman hanapin. You can find it right away over there. So plus the One Health Pass, kailangan din po yun. So looks like flights are going to be, like I said, if you are landing in Manila and you are going home within Manila, that's not much of a problem because you can find a way to get home because they will have special in Manila, they will have special buses, special trips going to different barangays and stuff. But the biggest problem to those travelers to the Philippines during ECQ are the ones who are traveling outside Manila because there will be no flights. I posted yesterday the canceled flights from Philippine Airlines, and I have infos now for flights with Cebu Pacific and Air Asia. So they have really canceled domestic flights from in and out of Manila during ECQ. Actually, they have already started. This is August 1st in the Philippines. Officially, August 1st in the Philippines. Grabe, it's August na. Where did the time went? We are August already. So during ECQ or enhanced community quarantine, which is the strictest quarantine classification in the classification in the Philippines, domestic flight is the most affected because there will be no flights coming in and out in Manila unless it's a special flight. Hello po, do you know when the Philippine Airline website will be up again? It's not working po and I have to fill up something. Oh, it's down ba? Wait, let me check po. Is Philippine Airlines down? Okay naman, Sunny, their website is working actually. It's back up na. Ade, sino ba sa subscriber mo ngayon dyan? Marriage Online? Ilang days ba nila nakuha ang report of marriage nila sa San Francisco Embassy? Because we are waiting almost a month. Sis Marley, because of the pandemic, because of the short staff of the Philippine government, doon or Philippine consulate, medyo matatagalan ang process ng report of marriage. So, usually, report of marriage would take 6 weeks, yung regular process nila. Kasi ang mangyayari niyan, Marley, is when you submit your paperwork at the Philippine Consulate in San Francisco. Yung San Francisco, imi-mail nila yan dito sa Philippines, particularly sa PSA, sa Philippine Statistics Office. Then the Philippine Statistics Office will process it, and the FA will process it. Then they will send it back to the US, then mail it to the applicant. Ganun po yung mangyayari. But because of the pandemic, because of the new travel restrictions again or new travel quarantine classification, medyo matatagalan talaga ang process. You've been waiting for a month, yung iba 2 months, 3 months na nag-aantay sa kanilang ROM. So ganun katagal, especially now that 9A visa effective today, August 1st, 9A visa holders can now enter the Philippines without the entry exemption document. So expect more applicant of ROM in the Philippine consulate because when you apply for the 9A visa, they require the report of marriage. So what about Russell? How is he doing, by the way? Sorry, Russell, if you are watching for what you I have been trying to get a hold of him. I have been searching Facebook, YouTube, but I cannot I really can't see any contact. I've checked his YouTube account. His last upload was 6 days, probably 8 days ago already during our live last Sunday mod. So me and my husband are a little bit worried on how he's doing because we really want to know how he wasn't really he was it's like he tested positive for COVID-19. Yeah. His last video was 1 week ago. So I've been trying to search and search and search how can I get a hold of Russell, but darating po kami sa Pinas on August 5. Ang labas namin quarantine hotel August 14. Makakauwi kaya kami sa Antipolo City noon because it's ECQ. What you can do, Sunny, is coordinate with Antipolo LGU or your barangay sa LGU ninyo. Kasi pwede naman kayo, like I said, if within Manila, pwede kayong sunduin ng mga taga-barangay ninyo to be able for you guys to get home. So, i-coordinate nyo po yan sa Antipolo para po masundo kayo. Ganon po yung ginawa ng iba noon. During ECQ in Manila, if you guys are living within Manila, coordinate with your barangay so your barangay can pick you guys up at the airport. So that the barangay can pick you guys up at the hotel kung saan kayo nag-quarantine because there will be no public transportation that time as well. Howard. Hey, Howard. How are you? Wish me luck talking to people and getting a visa tonight in about 15 minutes to get me there with 3 invites to the Philippines from government agency. Oh, cool. So you're going for an investor's visa then? Because I know they are allowed to enter the Philippines if you have an special investor's visa. That's really cool, Howard. Good luck. Please keep us updated, okay? Just when we thought it was getting better, all stopped. I know, to live in fish. It was horrible. I was like we were already seeing the light of the tunnel, even though we were not outside of it yet. But
seeing the light at the end of the tunnel and
we-
wound up being a
we,
train.
we were seeing the light of the tunnel already, but oh
Wound up
my
being a
god,
train.
it wasn't the outside light. It was another train coming. Good Lord. Bless us all. Watching from San Francisco, wishing Philippines to be safe. Hey James, thank you so much. James has been our subscriber for a while, and thank you so much. I know that we have good travel updates, bad, but most of the time bad travel updates. But you are still there for our channel, and I thank you so much for that. So yeah, like I said, we were already close, just like To Live and Fish said. We were already close. We thought that was the light outside the tunnel already, but my goodness, it was another train coming up. Howard, all the best, buddy. But are you sure about that? Just be careful. Yes, Howard, please be careful when doing that. Make sure it's not a scam, because the travel update to the Philippines right now. Only there are only few that are what do you call this, that are allowed to enter. So please be very careful. The tunnel collapse. According to James. Pretty much. Then we have to build it back up again so we can go in and travel. You know, more charity work, but large investment over past years. Oh, okay. So more likely you're going for the investor's visa, but please be careful, Howard. Okay. When can American husband go to the Philippines to visit his wife? You can, starting August 1st, Mike. 9A visa is now it's been the 9A visa holders has been allowed to enter the Philippines, but they require the entry exemption document. But starting today, August 1st, here in the Philippines, they have lifted that. You only need the 9A visa to be able to enter the Philippines. Granted, you have to apply for it at the Philippine consulate. One more thing po, yung pong swab testing po pang 7th day sa hotel sa Cebu, yun din po ba i-register sa MCIA? Thanks po. Yes po. Kasi iba yung process sa Cebu. Unlike Manila, they have Padlab, Red Cross, and Detoxicare. Sa Cebu, yan po yung MCIA para sa QR code. With Manila being locked down, you think flights to Cebu would be around it? From Manila to Cebu, I doubt it, because there has been flight cancellations when the Philippine government has already announced that Manila will be on ECQ, on enhanced community quarantine. The only domestic flights that are allowed during that time are special flights for authorized persons to travel in and out of Manila. But for regular domestic flights in and out of Manila will be restricted during the enhanced community quarantine. I hope I can leave September 26 with a 9A visa. Uh get it going, Domingo. Apply for it. Be safe all, get vaccinated. We can do this almost 8 p.m. getting off work. Yeah, it's like that's our problem too here, James, because right now in the Philippines, their priorities are frontliners, senior citizens, person with comorbidities, um, front economic. They're not even starting A4 yet. Economic frontliners. It's like they have not even started the community vaccination yet. So we don't really know which, because we run a retail store. They said if you have a retail store, you belong to A4 category, but they have not really started with that yet. Having vaccines are also limited coming into our city. So it's really, I know they wanted this vaccine rollout to be more successful, to be more quicker, so that everybody can get vaccinated. But the main problem of it is the supply. The supply is very slow. So me and my husband has not been vaccinated yet. And it's a good thing, because we were planning to be vaccinated. We were planning to be vaccinated at the VA, at Veterans Affair in Manila. And if we flew to Manila as scheduled, then we will be stuck there because of ECQ. So it's also hard, because we have to go to Manila to get vaccinated. But with the current travel restriction, with the current quarantine classification, it's hard. We don't want to be stuck in Manila. We have kids here in Jensen, and oh my god, you know how expensive to stay that long in Manila. We probably can't afford to stay that long. But we just want to be vaccinated to be it's not because you are vaccinated you are safe from COVID-19 already. That's wrong. You will still get infected, but you will only get the milder symptoms of it. You will not you will not get the severe symptoms of it, the severe case of COVID-19 if you are vaccinated. But even vaccinated individual with COVID-19, you will still get infected. As a tourist from Germany, do they accept me in Washington and I'm fully vaccinated? What else should I need to travel? You're traveling to the Philippines or you're traveling to the US? Delia. I hope things don't change again in the next few months. I hope so too, Mike. August travelers, how lucky you are. What? Be nice. My Filipina vaccinated. She's 40. That's good. It's like I said, the rollout of the vaccination in Manila is very high because they get most of the vaccines that we received in the Philippines. It's like if it's like when they receive a vaccine supply in the Philippines, like 70 or 60% of the vaccine goes to the National Capital Region in NCR. And 60% and 40% of that will be divided to Visayas and Mindanao. So we only get so little over here. And there was even one LGU who who signed an executive order that you can't go into a mall or any business establishment if you are not fully vaccinated. It's like granted that's a good implementation, but the problem that you get into that is the supply of the vaccine. It's like if you have all the supplies of the vaccine and there are just some who refuse to get vaccinated, then they are the ones who's going to suffer that can't enter a particular mall or a business establishment. But the problem is there are more Filipinos now who are willing to be vaccinated, but the problem is the vaccine supply. What else do I need besides 9A leaving New York? Marriage certificate. Make sure you bring your marriage certificate with you, Domingo. Make sure that you have a confirmed 10-day hotel booking in Manila for your quarantine. Make sure that you have registered with your QR code for swab testing. Make sure that you have registered the One Health Pass. This is now the new QR code that the Philippine government require when you travel to the Philippines. I am leaving from Germany. Oh, so you are leaving from Germany, traveling to the US? Because you said as a tourist from Germany, do they accept me in Washington? And I'm fully vaccinated. What else should I need to travel? US is accepting tourists actually. And being fully vaccinated, you have more chance of traveling to the US right now. Applying 9A visa, but wife will stay behind in Singapore, but I gotta go to settle some property matters. You think 9A visa will be granted? Uh, because the reason that they will issue a 9A visa is because your wife and your kids are already in the Philippines, because they will ask proof that the wife is already in the Philippines, like barangay clearance or taking a selfie of your wife holding a newspaper with the current events in the Philippines to prove that she's already in the Philippines. But if you are flying to the Philippines to settle some property matters, uh, all you can do is try. Just explain why you are coming home to the Philippines. But as far as I know, 9A visa is granted to those applicants whose wife and kids are already in the Philippines, because part of the requirements of the 9A visa is you have to prove that the wife and the kids are already in the Philippines. Do you know the requirements of a motion for reconsideration to extend the 3-year limit of a tourist visa? I currently live in Davao. Oh, it's either you have to. Are you guys married already? Motion of reconsideration. I am not, because as far as I know, you can extend your visa up to 36 months. When it's up, you have to leave the country and come back. But with the current situation, I think that is one leeway on it. Since you are in Davao, they have a field office there in Davao. So coordinate with the Bureau of Immigration on what your options are, especially this time. Check the expiration date of those vaccines. Yeah, that's true also. Before you get vaccinated, it's your right to ask what's the expiration date of the vaccine and stuff. Ate, sorry, got to go visiting Lola. It's Sunday. Happy Sunday to you and have a nice and healthy day. Thank you, Muad. Enjoy Sunday. Enjoy family time. I hope to see you tonight on our LDR discussion. Is that everywhere in the Philippines? Without the vaccine you can't go into? No, it was only in Lapu-Lapu City, that is in Cebu. They implemented that. So I think that is their way of getting everybody vaccinated, because there are still some Filipinos that are hesitant to get vaccinated with COVID-19. So it's not for all yet, especially here in Jensen. They can't implement that. They are even on A1, A2, and A3 category over here. And they would start to implement, fish port, in our fish port over here, they now require for you to be fully vaccinated before you can go in. I'm not sure if that's really confirmed. That's what they were saying, but it's getting there that you can't go in a mall, or like I said, I wish they would start implementing that when they reach the community herd, that everybody has been vaccinated, and and I wish they would implement that more when everybody has been vaccinated, and that's the only way others get vaccinated, especially to those who are very hesitant to be vaccinated with COVID-19. But right now, with their supply and their rollout that they are doing, that's really impossible. I forgot the 3-day testing before going. Do you still have to do that? It depends on your airline, Domingo. It really depends on your airline. That will vary on the airline. So coordinate with your airline, because there are airlines that requires negative RT-PCR test result within 72 hours. Meron bang flight international on August 14 kahit lockdown dyan sa Manila? My fiancé nasa Cebu kami. So the only problem to that, Maribel, is flights from Cagayan to Manila. Because during ECQ, there will be no domestic flights going in and out of Manila. International flights from Manila will not be affected. But the problem is, if you are coming from a province, you said you guys are in CDO, you guys are in Cagayan de Oro City. So the problem with that is your flight from Cagayan to Manila. Because Philippine Airlines, Cebu Pacific, and Air Asia has been canceling their flights during ECQ. Thank you. You're a great help. You're very welcome, Domingo. So, good morning, ma'am. Ask ko lang po kung wala na bang biyahe Oman. Oman. Oman is still on travel ban to the Philippines. Nakaban pa rin ang Oman eh. Until August 15. So, okay ma'am, thank you. Have a nice day. You're welcome. Coordinate with the airline, Maribel. Baka naman meron silang special flights going to Manila. But if it's just a regular domestic flight, nagka-cancel kasi sila eh. Alam mo naman yung ibang airline, other airlines, they know that Manila is going to be implementing enhanced community quarantine or ECQ. They will still accept booking and stuff, and they will just cancel it when the ECQ gets implemented, and you will have a hard time getting your refund. Sana po mabasa niyo chat ko at masagot niyo tanong ko. Sa ngayon kasi nakaban pa ang Oman to the Philippines. If you are leaving from the Philippines to Oman, wala namang problema yun. Ang magiging problema mo is if you're coming from Oman, ang magiging problema is coming from Oman going to the Philippines kasi nakaban po ang Oman. Meron akong so I'm going straight to Manila for the connecting flight to Cagayan to see my son in Iligan. I have to quarantine before getting to connecting flight. Yes, when you land in Manila, you have to quarantine for 10 days in Manila before you can proceed to your final destination. Hello, can my wife fly from Dipolog to Manila? When? If it's during the ECQ, there will be no flights during that time. Can't expect this to be too long as airlines will lose so much money, but also totally understand the welfare of the country. To live and fish, it's this is what happened last year when I went to the States, when they declared the enhanced community quarantine by that time. That's the reason I was stuck in the States for 5 months because we have waited until the Philippines is open again for domestic flights. I can fly all the way to Manila with no problem. The problem is I will be stuck in Manila because of the ECQ. That's why we decided. That's why we decided I just stay in the States. Then me and my husband will fly together in the Philippines when it's open already. And I was in the States in March of 2020, and we were able to fly back again in the Philippines July, end of July of 2020, and we had to undergo 21 days quarantine before we were able to come home. My girlfriend lives in Cagayan de Oro and I am from California. Would I be able to fly out there to see her? Unfortunately, Jaime, right now, foreign tourists are still not allowed in the country. So the 9A visa issuance is only granted to immediate family, which are the foreign spouses, foreign children, and parents of a Filipino national. So she needs to check with the airline, but I can tell you now that those flights are canceled because domestic flights right now are canceling domestic flights left and right. What if she flies from Dipolog to Manila in transit to Colombia? Like I said, leaving from Manila going abroad is not much of a problem. The problem will be going up to Manila because of the enhanced community quarantine imposed that will start on August 6th. So most flights are already canceled right now. I will pull it up. I will pull it up. Cebu Pacific has actually canceled several of their flights already too. So See, these are the cancellation. Cancel. I will pull it up so I can share it with you guys. So this is Cebu Pacific. I have uploaded a video yesterday of canceled flights with Philippine Airlines. So now this is Cebu Pacific. So I am putting it up on the screen. These are this is the canceled flights of Cebu Pacific. See, those are the dates that they canceled. Those are the canceled flights. Those are their flight schedules in the Philippines. So those are the canceled flights of Cebu Pacific. So thank you. You're very welcome. I am planning on booking my flight to the Philippines on the 10th. Your information is really helpful. Thank you. You're very welcome, Wilson. When the foreigners can enter at Clark Airport, please more information. So what type of foreigner though? Because foreign nationals that are only allowed to enter the Philippines right now are 9A visa holders, 13A visa holders, and SRRV visa holders. If you are a dual citizen of the Philippines, then you can enter as well. If you are a Filipino citizen of the Philippines, then you can enter as well. From Singapore to Clark. Are you one of those permitted foreign nationals to enter the what type of visa do you have, Rajes? I'm a Malaysian. Enable for you to enter the Philippines, you have to apply for a 9A visa, which is only granted to those who are immediate family of Filipino national, spouse, like spouse of a Filipino national, a child of a Filipino national, or a parent of a Filipino national. Outside of that, foreign tourists going to the Philippines are currently suspended. My friends in the Philippines, unfortunately, you will not be granted visa at the moment, Rajesh, because like I said, foreign tourists are still not allowed to enter the Philippines. Hello, if I can get my wife to Dipolog, will she have a problem getting out to Colombia? Where is Colombia?
South America.
Oh, if she's got all the paperwork to travel to Colombia, I don't think she will have a problem leaving the country as long as all her requirements are complete. Having said that, she needs to have, I know it requires a tourist visa to travel to Colombia. That's number one. She also needs to attend a seminar for from the Commission of Filipino Overseas. This is CFO to those who are leaving the Philippines for the first time. That's number two. Then she needs to have health and travel insurance. If she is on a tourist visa that is required by the Philippine government, just in case you get infected with COVID-19 while abroad, you'll have insurance to cover it. Okay, I understand. Thank you. Currently visa free. Oh, it's visa free to travel Colombia. That's cool. But like I said, she needs to have those requirements. Like I said, for first time travelers outside the Philippines, they need to undergo the Commission on Filipino Overseas. That's a mandatory. Mm-mm. Yes, wide open. That's cool. That's really cool. Green list countries allowed, but must quarantine guys 7 or 10 days. Hotels stay at your expense. Yes, they have actually expanded the green list. I have a video on that. Will be up very soon. I think they have added 17 more countries to the green list. So I will keep you guys posted. Of course, she can get that. No, unfortunately, the office for that is in Cebu or in Manila. Token Cebu or Manila. That's where the office is at. So what you do is Google Commission of Filipino Overseas or CFO because that's a requirement. So just Google Commission on. Wait, I will post the link. Yes, and this is the website for it. It's a pre-departure orientation and stuff for foreign fiancés, tourist visa, and all that. You're very welcome. So, do you guys have any more questions? I would like to invite you guys again tonight on our LDR discussion. We'll try to keep it up short and not 6 hours again, but it really depends. We always have a good time with our LDR discussion. That's why. Mom, how about Dutch national? Likes to live in the Philippines. Pensioner na siya. Can he enter sa Pinas? Ano po mga requirements? Thanks a lot. If he's got a 9A visa, 13A or SRRV, then he can enter. But if he doesn't have any existing visa, kung papunta pa lang siya ng Pilipinas on a tourist, unfortunately, hindi pa po sila allowed to enter the Philippines. Mhm. Familia, buenas noches. How do I answer Jess again with buenas noches? I need to start speaking Spanish. Magandang umaga, pamilya Jess. Oh, I will start speaking to you in Tagalog. How you doing, brother? How many lockdowns can our people go through? That I don't know. I
People
know.
are a resilient bunch. They can go through as many as is required. They're not going to like it.
Mm-hmm. It's like we don't really have a whole lot of choice over here. We complain and all that with all the lockdowns and stuff, but there's really not much of a choice but to follow it. I just wish the government is more you know provide food to those uh who will be more likely be more affected with the lockdowns because they can't go to work, that they can provide financial assistance to those who are so affected by the lockdown. Outside of that, we don't really have much of a choice but to follow. Can we believe the Philippine media saying that Pacquiao is not that popular? Mm. You know, what happens here when it's getting close to election, everybody would be everybody would have projects would start popping out, charity work would start popping out, politicians will start their agenda to impress people and stuff. That's when you know election is approaching, is fast approaching. That's always the norms over here. People would make politicians or celebrities would make noise on their favorite politicians. Politicians would make noise that they are doing this and that because election is coming up. Then politicians will have issues from one politicians to another. That's always the norms over here in the Philippines because election is next year. They are now doing their good deed. They are now destroying their opponent and stuff. So that's just how they roll. Cheryl TV, maraming salamat for tuning in. So, okay po, gotta go. Join you in the next broadcast. Cheers. Thank you, Eugene. Like I said, guys, we'll have another LDR discussion again tonight. Same time, 9 p.m. in the Philippines. That would be 9 a.m. Eastern Time, 8 a.m. Central Time, 6 a.m. Pacific Time. So if you guys can join, those who are on LDR relationship, uh, we chit chat, we share just to take a break from all this restriction and from all these restrictions and stress in the Philippines. So if you guys have more questions, I still have like 30 minutes. 30 minutes before I wrap this up. Then I'll see you guys tonight. Hi, mom. I got a partner, lesbian. How she can stay in the Philippines forever? Oh, Philippines doesn't recognize same-sex marriage yet. So don't really have idea. I don't really have any idea how will that work. Unless the Philippines will open for foreign tourists, but until then, she won't be allowed to enter the Philippines. Wishing for no later opening than January 2022. I think first foreigners allowed should be all from have applied from the K1 visa. See, I am a good matchmaker. Oh, Jess, oh, Jess, oh, Jess. My husband is laughing. I wish the Philippines would do the same like the US does, that they can apply for a fiancé visa. But the problem with the fiancé visa is that could get abused. The system could get abused. Everybody wants to visit the Philippines will now apply for a fiancé visa and, you know, start dating a Filipina. That will be a problem.
Just so they can come to the
So they can
Philippines
so
and
they
cheat.
can get in you can they can get into the Philippines. That system could get abused so easily. Like in the States, the screening is so strict when it comes to fiancé visa. You will really have to prove that you're in a legit relationship. That's why they ask so many proof to be approved for the K1 visa. I have answered that already, Marilyn. Like I said, same-sex marriage is not recognized in the Philippines yet. Hindi pa po recognized ang same-sex marriage sa Philippines. So if your partner is coming from abroad and wants to stay in the Philippines, unfortunately, that is not doable at the moment kasi yung foreign tourist is still not allowed to enter the Philippines. Does Canada have a K1 like process? No, Canada don't have it. Canada, you have to be married first before you can apply for a visa for your spouse. They don't do the K1 visa just like the US does. Because I have a friend who got married to a Canadian, and they had to be married here in the Philippines, then apply for the visa so he can get here from the get her from the Philippines to Canada. Where's Jensen? Who's Jensen? Where's Jensen though? Who's Jensen?
Ginseng?
Oh, where's Jensen? Oh, I thought you're looking for a. Oh, where's Jensen? And I was like, who's Jensen? No, Jensen is in southern part of the Philippines. We're at the very bottom. So I will pull up a map of the Philippines. Wait, I will pull up a map so you guys can know where Jensen is. So this is the map of the Philippines. Jensen is at the very bottom. Here. In this area here. Manila is right here. This is where Manila is at. Northern part. We are down here at the southern part. So that's where Jensen is. Any idea how long Canadian process take if partner wants to take to Canada? I don't really have any idea. Jess, I would recommend this website, visajourney.com. All the process are there from Philippines, Canada, US, different countries. They post in a forum on the process, the actual step-by-step process for a particular visa. So, visajourney.com, that website. This one. Hey, Mike. Hello po. Good morning. How are you, Mike? So, like I said, to those who are leaving the Philippines, going to the US or abroad, because of the ECQ, there will be several canceled flights on domestic flights. You can still leave if they have special flights going to Manila, because special flights during enhanced community quarantine or ECQ is allowed. So if you can get into that special flight from your province going to Manila, then you can still leave. Because during ECQ, international flights are not really affected. The only problem to that is getting into Manila. So, like I said, during enhanced community quarantine, airlines will have special flights. If you can get into those special flights, then you are still able to travel outside the Philippines. Same if you are coming from abroad, land in Manila and your final destination is to a particular province, the same thing. If you can get into a special flight, then you can go to your final destination. But if it's just a regular domestic flight, unfortunately, airlines have been canceling flights, specifically domestic, since the Philippine government has announced that NCR will be under enhanced community quarantine or ECQ, which means there will be no domestic flights. Domestic flights, regular domestic flights, will be restricted during the duration of ECQ. I'm doing well. I hope everyone is good and safe over there. Delta has gone crazy in my area. Oh, wow. In Texas? We have heard, Mike, we have heard from the news today that the US has logged 120,000 cases of Delta today. Oh my God, that's a lot. Fiance just got back from Jensen yesterday. Wanted to see her grandpa and mom's burial praise. Oh, she's here in Jensen right now, Jess. Where is her mom? Where is her mom's burial place? Because we have a place here called Forest Lake. That's where my dad is buried too. Do you think there's a good chance enter what?
On your same sex marriage,
Yeah.
if they get married abroad,
Yes.
the Philippines will actually recognize it.
Okay.
It says, as a general rule, the Philippines follows the Lex Loci celebrations rule. For this reason, same sex marriages legally celebrated abroad would be considered valid, since Article 26 does not include the requirement that the parties have to be man and woman.
Oh, I'm not sure if she's around. Did you hear that, Marilyn? Do you think there is a good chance interview for K1 would be in Cebu if Jensen is actual address? No. I was from Jensen during my K1 interview, but my interview was in Manila. I hope that answers your question, Jess. She's from Jensen? Oh my god. Okay. Life seems normal in Davao. My wife's at the beach swimming with her family now. Oh, cool. Yeah, life is in Davao. It's like they are not, because Davao don't have the Sunday lockdown. Here in Jensen, we have the Sunday lockdown, and it has been extended until the end of the month. This month, August. Unfortunately,
And a liquor ban.
liquor ban. Yeah, here in Texas, it's gone crazy, and our governor has all the brains of an alley cat not requiring mask or wow. Is he crazy? Malagos Jensen. There's no Malungon? Is that Malungon? I don't think we have Malangos Jensen here, Jess. Oh, that's Florida. Florida is part of Delta? Allah.
Yeah, Florida had almost half of the cases reported a couple of days ago.
Wow. Is the Pfizer vaccine able to
That I don't know.
see? Being vaccinated doesn't really exempt you from not being infected with COVID-19. You will still get infected, but they said you will get the milder version of it. The problem is they said this Delta variant is more uh fatal. It's more the transmission is very high. So yes, Malungon, sorry. Oh my god, I want to go there. You should. They have a very nice overview place over there. I have a friend there. That's between Davao and Jensen, actually, Jess. Malungon is between Davao and Jensen. It's about an hour drive from Jensen. They have a place there called Kalun Barak. And oh my god, I want to see that Kalun Barak. It's a mountain that you can see the overview of General Santos, the Malungon, probably Davao because it's quite high and I really want to go there, but right now we can't get in because of this pandemic shit. Delta is bad in Sydney, Australia, and starting getting it in Brisbane now. Wow. So Delta is all over the world. That is what the Philippines is trying to avoid. It's like the US is even worried about it, even though most people over there has been vaccinated. What more in the Philippines? The update of the vaccination in the Philippines, we are at, hang on, I'm getting ready to pull it up. We are at 7.2%. We are only 7.2. 7.2% of the population has only been vaccinated with COVID-19.
The United States is 50%, and they're talking about lockdown again.
So the US is talking about lockdowns again because of Delta. Okay, can you? That's sometimes I could understand why the Philippine government is doing it because the Philippines is poor. We don't have that much money like the US does, you know, and the US is more high tech when it comes to dealing with emergency crisis like this. Philippines is not. I still complain the way the Philippine government is imposing lockdowns, restrictions, and stuff. But right now, we don't really have a whole lot of choice. All borders between our states are closed. Wow. Please be safe over there, Grant Hill. Grant Hill, you're not the basketball player, right? Tell me you're not the basketball player because Grant Hill is my favorite basketball player during the 80s and the 90s. You're not that basketball player, right, Grant Hill? Please tell me because if you are, you need me. I need a signature from you. I'm not kidding. You're not the basketball player, right? I'll pick your live stream, Manana. Buenas noches and hear you later. What? TY team. Oh, Jess, I expect you to be in our LDR discussion later, huh? Go to sleep early so you can wake up early. I know you're in Pacific time. You'll be late again later. Hi, ma'am. Good morning po. Hindi pa rin Rachel. Rachel is actually from Jensen. Hindi pa rin. Only positive here in LA is not as many deaths as before. Not saying mild for everyone, but younger people getting it. Ah,
Yeah, the Delta variant is actually targeting the younger generation instead of the older generation like the original variant did.
ay, that's
Where it went,
scary.
where the older people were more susceptible to it.
Mm-hmm.
The Delta variant, the younger generation is more susceptible to it.
Ay, ay, ay. Oh my God. I don't like that. We have kids, you know? No. Oh, okay. He's not the basketball player. I'm sorry, Grant Hill. I just recognized the name. It was like Grant Hill, really? That's the NBA player? But please do be careful. I know it's like I watched a particular vlogger from Australia, and I have seen on her vlog that they have been on lockdown and stuff. So Dr. Robert Malone, who was a developer of the mRNA vaccine, said he heard of this Delta strain, but there is no information to be found. Why would this be? There should be information readily available. Yes. Oh, Andrew, I recognize you. You're the one who emailed me from time to time. Dennis Diaz from Ohio. Hello, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. Good evening on stateside. Yeah, this Delta variant is really making a stir all over the world. Like the US has now more cases than before, and it's like, the US in the for the past 2 months, they have been opening, they have been going back to it's like business establishments has been opening. It's like they have even stopped unemployment benefits, so that everybody could go back to work. They are on that stage already. And boom, here's the Delta variant. And they are now talking about lockdowns again in the US before it completely spread out, because they said that the vaccine should work with this Delta variant, but they are not sure of. They are even talking about, especially with Pfizer, they are even talking about getting a booster shot for this Delta variant. That's how bad it is over there. And like Grant said, even in Australia, they are closing borders now because of it. Ay, ay, ay. I could imagine Florida is the epicenter. This is summertime in the US. Everybody goes to Florida during summertime. Good morning, my brother from another mother, Vincent Tai.
Morning, Vincent.
How are you? But I've been trying to find a way to contact Russell, but I couldn't. I went to his account in YouTube, but there is really no contact information there, even an email. I have searched Facebook, but oh my God, there are gazillion of Russell Barrel Jr. there, and I couldn't find him. So I don't know how to get a hold. What is he doing? No, I hope he will be on tonight during our LDR discussion. I would be happy seeing him tonight. But if he's not going to join our LDR discussion tonight, then we will be more worried. Me and my husband will be. We've been talking about him for since that last episode of our LDR. Here's my other brother from another mother, Jerome Akuba. Are you done working? He's the one from Hawaii. Our brother from another mother, Jerome. Good morning, good evening from the land of Hawaii. Would be nice to visit Hawaii one day, but I heard it's expensive over there. You and Alaska are the most expensive state. Why? Because you guys are very far from civilization. Over here, when you said that, you live at the mountain. If that's the case.
Hawaii, because basically it's a tourist destination.
Oh, that's why. Oh my God, you guys are rich over there, Jerome.
Alaska, because it costs so much to get goods and stuff up
I want autograph from Grant Hill too, please.
there.
I really thought it was Grant Hill. I know. That's funny. Yeah, just spa work playing bingo tonight. Oh, cool. Are you winning? I wanted to go home so bad. I have not been home since 1987. Good Lord. I was only 4 years old that time. I met a Filipina from Orina, Bataan, and we want to meet. Are you a Filipino, Dennis? Dennis Diaz. Sounds like a Filipino name. Probably a former Filipino who naturalized abroad. You can actually go home to the Philippines and meet the Filipina that you have met. Yeah, it's cost. Yeah, it's true. Cost of living. Yeah, it's like when we were applying for a K1 visa, they have a graph of poverty line. And Alaska and Hawaii is actually has a different poverty line. They are a little bit up compared to other compared to the other 49 states,
48.
48 states. So the 48 states has the same
Alaska and Hawaii.
48 states has, yeah, we have 50, right? I thought we have 51. 48 states has the same poverty line. They have the same range. But Alaska and Hawaii has is different. They are a lot more higher than the 48 states.
Not yet. They're trying to get Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands. And
Never
maybe
started.
Guam.
It's only 5:45 p.m. Oh my goodness. 5:45? So you guys are 5:49. Wait lang. Sabi? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We are 7 hours ahead. So when we are doing live, oh my goodness. Is that mountain time? Dr. Michael Yedon, former Chief Science Officer and VP of R&D for Pfizer, pharmacologist and upper respiratory disease expert, said not to fear this virus.
You can't fear the virus. You have to respect the virus. But you cannot
Greetings.
fear.
Oh. Greetings from Cebu, Zamboanga Peninsula. We're not really feeling it down here. Only 2 cases in the area and both recovered well. But then again, this area of the Philippines is sparsely populated. Oh, okay. So you guys are, but still, it's you only need one to get in, and we'll be in so much trouble because you only need one person infected by a virus and it could spread drastically. UK full of Delta variant but no increase in hospitalizations. That is actually good because UK, how much percentage now in the UK are fully vaccinated? Yes, I was born in Pasay but raised in USA. I met her in Filipino Cupid. We've been talking for over a year. Yes, you are actually a dual citizen by birth, Dennis Diaz, but you can also avail the Balikbayan privileges just by flying with US passport. They will grant you 1 year visa as a former Filipino. Just make sure that you bring your birth certificate with you, or if you have an old passport, you can do so. If you guys really want to meet, you can fly now actually. Saturday evening. Yeah, Sunday morning here. Sunday morning here in the Philippines. So wow, 7 hours. That's why when we go live at 9, usually Jerome would come in around 10, 11, and he's still not asleep because of bingo. So you are to blame, Jerome, because you are playing bingo. My blood pressure still remain 163 over 101. My God, Vincent, what are you eating? And constantly having jiggliness. But I still have hopes of going to. You go to the Philippines, then you will be more high blood with all the food over here. Hawaii Standard Time. Oh, Hawaii has its own time zone. I thought it's Mountain Time,
No,
Pacific Time.
Hawaii has its own time zone.
Oh, okay. Do you guys also do uh daylight savings time? Do you guys do that too, Jerome? Okay, thank you. I've been following you. I think it's still required to quarantine. Yes, unfortunately, you have to quarantine for 10 days in Manila. So, as the US is not listed as the green list, so you have to undergo the longer quarantine. My sweet beautiful lady told me today that they've got two cases. Oh my god. Of Delta. Yeah, it's worse in the Manila area. They have logged 8,500 cases of Delta variant in Manila area. No daylight savings here. Oh, okay. Oh, Hawaii doesn't do that. So it's just the 48 states that does the daylight savings. I think Alaska is winter all year round. I'm never going to leave that place. Maybe for a visit, 2 days max, before I turn into ice. Bigo isn't the reason I stay up late. Ah, it's your girl, no. Because after bingo, you have to talk to her. My husband is laughing at you. Your brother from another mother is laughing. It's the future wifey. That's good. Good boy. Then you then you join our LDR discussion the more you but you don't have work on Sunday, right? So you can actually stay up late and just sleep in on Sunday. Hi, is online marriage recognized or approved by the Philippine government for LDRs? There are LDR couples who went for the online marriage and was able to enter the Philippines, honestly. But it just depends on the paperwork because they require report of marriage after you guys get married online. So, ma'am, tanong ko lang po kung anong dapat gawin ng aking tita na nagtrabaho sa Spore more than Singapore more than 16 years in one employer na nagkaroon siya ng sakit doon. Ano po yung anong gagawin? She wants to come home. Gusto niyang umuwi ng Pilipinas? Yeah, that's why no sleep for this guy. Haha. Yeah, it's already the norms for you, Jerome. On the weekend, you play bingo, you talk to the future wifey, then you join the LDR discussion. So that's just your routine on Saturday night and Sunday morning. Can you recommend a site where I can learn how to speak Tagalog? By the Rosetta Stone. You're a Filipino. You don't know. You were born in the Philippines, but raised in the US. Yeah. Mommy and daddy did not talk to you in Filipino, huh? And Dennis, I have been teaching my husband for the last 13 years to speak Tagalog, but I think this is the only subject that I fail so bad. Not to brag, but I never got a failure grade when I was studying from kinder up to my bachelor's degree. But this one, my husband, I failed drastically in teaching him Tagalog. But he used Filipino the English Tagalog app. He does that. Rosetta Stone is very good in uh when learning Tagalog. The Rosetta Stone. Once they open up for tourism, will we need a visa before departure? That is a good question. I have been receiving that questions that what if the Philippines is going to do when tourism is finally open? There's only two things of that TLM. It's either they are going to reinstate what they are imposing before pandemic or they will now require visa for tourists coming into the Philippines. So it's really either of that. If it's either of that, if they are going to reinstate or impose a new rule that or all tourists coming to the Philippines will have to have a visa. Arizona doesn't do daylight savings time. Oh, it's a desert, no? That's good to know, Mike. Everyone had their wifey and house fee. I'm still single and very available. Good Lord. Don't worry, brother. We will find you a partner. Mike, can you help Vincent? But she wants a Filipino though. That's your wifey, Mike has a sister. So once if I do the online marriage and receive the marriage certificate, can I use it to secure a visa to meet my wife? That is most Philippine consulates now thus require the report of marriage. When you guys are married online, you need to report it to the nearest Philippine consulate. You have to apply for the report of marriage because that is the requirement for a 9A visa. And the process is taking longer this time because of several applications. No, we are forbidden to speak Tagalog because we are failing school here in USA. We were only allowed to speak Tagalog. We were summer school for 4 years now. I only speak English. Oh my goodness. That's not good. In our house, well, my eldest just learned. My all my kids goes to an English school. So Vincent Tai, I have a single co-worker here. You who oh there you go. Vincent, get ready, buddy. We're about to make ano. I'm about to be a mama sang here. Marian, can you please introduce them? Vincent, you have to be present tonight on our LDR. Marian, can you please invite your friend to be on the show? Nakauwi na po siya, ma'am, noong September last year, but hindi po siya nakatanggap dito sa OWA. Ang sakit niya, ma'am, is liver cancer stage 4. Oh, I'm so sorry for that. She needs to coordinate with OWA, Marilyn. Bakit hindi niya nakuha yung benefit niya? So, what is the top Filipina date site? Allah, I don't know. I've heard about Filipino Cupids. I'm not sure if Cherry Blossom still exists. Because of social media now, there's actually a lot. Just be careful. Hi, Addie and Eaton Squad. Happy weekend. Hi, Johnny Lynn. How are you? What's the update on the boy fee? If you don't mind. How to get contact with this person? Oh my God, he's wide awake. Oh, Marianne. Marianne is ano, my I would be so static because of this live and this channel. We will be able to, you know, match and they actually oh my God, I would expect an invite for a wedding. I will have a tampo with you, Vincent, if you will not invite us on your wedding. I will ban you from our channel. Pina Love, Filipino Cupid, and Asian dating site. Oh, okay. There you go, Lamont. There's the website. Thank you, Dennis. I think you said you guys met in in Filipino Cupid, no? That's what you
Yes,
said
Cherry
earlier.
Blossoms is still,
Oh, my husband said Cherry Blossom is still daw.
and there's ChristianFilipina.com.
Hoy, why are you looking at dating site?
Because you asked.
So you guys, if you have time tonight, we have LDR discussion. It's really fun. During our LDR last Sunday, we were on for 6 hours. Good Lord, we were on for 6 hours. But we had so much time. We chit chat, we share experience, we share tips of being LDR couples and stuff. The show is not about to hurt those who are currently on LDR. It's just our way of telling you guys that we support. It's just our way of supporting you guys that we are with you in these trying times during travel restrictions to the Philippines. And some would say that it really helps that they can chit chat with, because me and my husband are a product of LDR and we really have so much fun there. Filipino, yes, Filipino Cupid is where I met my girlfriend. Oh, okay. Start at what time? 9 p.m. Still 9 p.m., Vincent. 9 p.m. Philippine time. This love has taken its toll on me. We said goodbye. Alada, I haven't cooked your food yet though. Because I'm doing live. So any more questions, guys? 15 more minutes, then we can wrap this up. Magluluto pa ako. I have to cook some food for my hubby loves. He requested country fried steak for lunch. So I gotta cook something for the hubby. How long is Manila on lockdown? Uh, it will start on August 6th and will end on August the 20th. So far, unless they will extend it again. Do you think the Philippines will open once Philippines have a new president in June 2022? No guarantee. Because you'll never know if the next president is still an ally of our present president right now. So hold on, Vincent. I have to build you to her and convince her. Oh my God. Marian, sinimulan mo yan ha. Tapusin mo. I am more concerned about the safety of all tourists when Philippines open its border. Correct. That's very true. Vincent, you should ask Jonalyn her info. That's what my husband thought too. That Jonalyn is I want to know our dogs are banging our door. Jonalyn, how are you doing? How's the boyfriend doing? He's not on anymore. Malingaw ko ninyo, ma'am. Salamat sa inyo. Salamat, lovely. Oh, I had an account on Friendster during our time. Friendster, MySpace, those are the popular social media platform before Facebook got in. Oh, according to him, he was able to settle it. So if he's fine now, but he can't travel Davao yet because of current lockdown. Oh, really? Jonalyn, this is my advice to you. You really have to tell him to be honest with you because he's hiding something. Like my husband told you before, I don't think he's really scamming you, but you really have to be careful and he really needs to be more honest and open to you on what's going on. Because the truth of the matter is he's not telling you everything. I'm always late, a little bit late, but the lady calls me at 8 a.m. my time, so I'm sorry, but she takes precedence. I know. I completely understand that, Mike. Happy wife, happy life. Thank you for the time. I will continue following you. I'm a fan of yours. Dennis, if you have time tonight, please join us on our LDR discussion. It's around 9 p.m. here in the Philippines, 9 a.m. Eastern Time in the US, 8 a.m. Central Time. We have so much fun. If you had fun during our answering questions, travel update and stuff, you will have more fun on our LDR discussion. So it's not just for LDR couple. Everybody is welcome. Vincent is even there. He is single, but we always expect him to. We already adopted him as our brother. So we expect Vincent to be there. On any word on 13A visa additional paperwork beyond no. It's like 13A should be good. Your ACR ID should be good. And the marriage certificate should be good to go at Terry. But if you're still a little bit hesitant, you can confirm it with the Bureau of Immigration. But I have already I have already inquired about that. They said the valid visa and the ACR card should let you in into the country. Because of most Filipino are left with no job, and if when Philippines open its border for all tourists, they may be uprise cases of robbery. And you actually have a good point on that, Vincent. Even before, I know this sounds so bad for the Philippines, but even before there are cases of that already, before pandemic, especially when they see foreigners coming into the country. What more with it when we finally open up? You actually have a good point, Vincent. So I will be sharing this information to you guys. We have still the same handle, the Eaton Squad. You can follow us there as well, Dennis. I now upload our video updates in our Facebook page just in case you miss it, or in case you guys are also a follower of our Facebook page. So our Facebook page is the Eaton Squad. Our Instagram account is the Eaton Squad. Yes, but oh. Yeah, I agree, Addie. Communication is the key for a successful relationship. And it's breaking my heart, to be honest, every time he ignores my questions. So I told him my concern, it's up to him now. That's good. That's good that you have told him your concern. Yet be honest with him. Tell him that I'm not comfortable that you are hiding something from me. And if you want this relationship to work, we have to communicate honestly. It's like you can't just say, yes, communication is the key to a relationship, but communication has a different level. There is the communication that the other party is not honest, and there is that communication that both parties are being honest to each other. So remember that. You can just say communication, but other parties be tends to be not so honest with the other party or the other way around. So communication comes with honesty in both parties. Thank you. Good night. It's 12:08 a.m. here. Oh, okay. So you're on Eastern time. Good night, Dennis. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'll be wrapping this up in 8 minutes because I have to cook the husband his country fried steak. That's his request. So, any more questions? We have 8 more minutes before I say bye bye. But I thank you guys so much for joining me today. And thank you for all those questions. Like I said, if you guys are free tonight, we have LDR discussion. Join us. Airport immigration officers at Cebu said airlines may ask for it and photocopy of PSA is good enough, but seeing if you heard something else from airlines not always following immigration. Copy of APSA? For who? For you or for the wife? I don't think they would need PSA copy. Oh, of the marriage certificate? Hmm. Some airlines would require more document than the immigration officer. What you can do, Terry, is Bureau of Immigration Philippines has a Facebook page. You can actually message them and they are really good at replying. When they reply to your inquiry, have that printed and show that to the airline that this is all what I need to enter the Philippines. Hope Philippine government will come up with laws that protect all tourists that's in the Philippines when its border is open up. Yeah, I completely agree with you, Vincent. Your marriage certificate, oh, they might require the report of marriage, no? It's like they are what they call this. Before, the ROM was not really required at all, but during the pandemic, they now require it because some travelers abuse it. Some travelers had abused the system And now those travelers that really follows the law is suffering from it. 5 more minutes, guys. 5 more minutes. If you have those last minute questions, please post them and we'll wrap this up. 5 more minutes. Like a basketball. 5 more minutes. Especially those taxis at the airport, eatery in the city, such may even try to con the unaware tourist that's been in. That's what happened. That's what happening before pandemic, Vincent. And like you said, it probably gonna get worse. Thank you, Eddie. See you tonight for LDR discussion. See you, Jonalyn. Where are you from again, Jonalyn? I hope, Jonalyn, your boyfriend can figure it out, or your boyfriend can really start to be more honest with you and to be more open to you. And you really have to ask him what's his main purpose, and how what's his goal with your relationship. Because I really hate for a Filipina to be hurt by a foreigner and just being used by a foreigner because they want to get into the country and do their thing. That's not even right. And also that happens vice versa, just like Vincent. He was scammed by a Filipina before too. So all I can advise is you guys be very careful, okay? You guys are be very, very careful. It's lunchtime, but I'm still having my coffee. Will more of Cebu require you to be fully vaccinated to enter markets and grocery stores? I think that was Lapu-Lapu City who was implementing that. One of the cities of Cebu made an executive order that if you are not fully vaccinated, you can't enter the markets, the grocery stores. And yes, that was actually in Cebu. Mm-mm-mm-mm. So, guys, 2 minutes. Two last 2 minutes. Because I gotta cook. The hubby is hungry. And he looks forward for his country fried steak. He looked forward for his country fried steak. He likes surprises, Eddie, but I told him that I don't like it. I'm leaving. Oh, you're from Davao. Pasalvage na dira sa NPA, Jonalyn, oy. Ina, og di ka magtarong na. Ina, idyo binuangi dudong, mga dawawin news, mga isog ra ba kayo, ipasalvage ka sa NPA na, goodbye, jud. See you later at LDR chat. See you, brother. Rapper said, Rappler said, from the now to Karkar, not just Lapu-Lapu, is Rappler is one of the, yeah, they are one of the news info. But sometimes it's really hard. But I've seen the executive order. The executive order that I've seen was from Lapu-Lapu City. So whatever the coverage of Lapu-Lapu City, probably Danao and Karkar belongs to Lapu-Lapu City, then Any Hi, any news and requirements on 9A visa foreign spouse? It's actually the same. You have to apply for it at the nearest Philippine consulate, William. I am going to make a video on 9A visa requirements. I feel bad for her. When I first met my lady, I told her straight out, like in the first or second conversation, we need to be open and honest at all times. We cannot lie or hide things. That's just how it works, Mike, because especially when you guys is on LDR relationship, honesty and communication plays a huge role in your relationship, because communication and honesty would lead to trust. So those elements are very important, not just LDR, but in any relationship. And from the beginning, you guys really have to be upfront, not hiding anything. If you, especially if you plan on spending the rest of your life for this person, then you really have to be honest. Nabitaw, labayig dorian jud ni Len, oy. Labayig dorian ing na di ka magtarong dodong, labayon ta kag dorian. So I will see you guys tonight on our LDR discussion with Polar Bear. Hopefully Daniel is able to join us tonight. Daniel was able to fly his girlfriend or fiance to Maldives, and they are now in Maldives spending time together. And I invited Daniel is always in our LDR discussion, but them in Maldives right now, they are in paradise. I don't really want to disturb, but he said he will try, and hopefully he will try more to be in the show tonight so he can share what process they did, because other LDR couples might want to, might want to do the same process they went. So my ex Filipina girlfriend lied to me about herself and her family, and end up she and her family scammed me my money, and she left me and got herself married. Oh, I hate for you to I hate for you to repeat that again, Vincent. Just forget about it. It's good that you did not have to be on that trap for a long time, you know so we have to move on. But I will see you guys tonight in our LDR discussion. Everybody is welcome. We will still cater travel updates questions during the LDR. So see you later. Enjoy your lunch, and we'll talk later. See you later, Mike. I'm sorry about that, Vincent. Yeah, it's so. I will see you guys tonight on our LDR discussion. That's 9 p.m. Philippine time. Stay safe, everyone. Enjoy your Sunday. Enjoy family time. As soon as I log out, I will cook the husband some lunch. See you guys. Please take care. Be safe. Stay healthy. God bless everyone. Happy Sunday. Bye.